It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, brought to you by Command Family Medicine, Heating and Air Paramedics, and Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Well, good morning, everybody. We continue to see conditions across the Ozarks that are hot and humid. No change in that forecast. I know you probably felt the heat turn up a notch yesterday with high temperatures making their way to the low 90s, humidity out there in full effect, and we have very similar conditions setting up across the Ozarks today. Once again, I have high temps that I'm expecting to reach 90 degrees in the forecast, and it is going to be a hot and humid day. The change in the forecast is that I've got storm chances that look a little bit better for the weekend, and the first round of those will arrive late this evening into the overnight hours tonight. Looks like a very late event for many, but one that could pack a punch. Isolated showers and thunderstorms, and a few chances for strong thunderstorms, especially in the afternoon. Eastern Ozarks have a chance for the better strong storms in the afternoon, and then overnight tonight's going to be the better chance in our far northern counties, primarily for central Missouri, but I think a few strong ones could hold on for the Lake of the Ozarks region, with the biggest concerns being strong damaging wind as well as some locally really heavy downpours. Before that gets here, though, we have really warm temperatures. We're calling it a marginal risk of severe weather for tonight. I am expecting winds to gust close to 60 miles an hour in some of the strongest storms on the radar. And there will be a line from about Pittsburgh, Kansas, all the way to Osage Beach that has the better chance for some of the strong storms. Again, the hazards here include localized heavy downpours that could lead to some isolated flooding incidents, as well as damaging winds and frequent lightning. So remain weather aware this weekend, not just today, but I also have storms in the forecast for Saturday and Sunday. So don't let your guard down just because it's the weekend. We've still got about a 50% chance for some showers and storms in the forecast on Saturday also. These are not all-day washout type rains, but I think that we'll have a good deal of scattered storms on the forecast on Saturday afternoon, again on Sunday. And if you get those storms rolling over the same places, there could be some flooding concerns as they could really have high rainfall rates, meaning that too much water too quickly moving over the same exact area could be a problem as we go through the weekend. So isolated flooding is what I'm expecting at this point, but do pay attention to the forecast this weekend as we kind of see how this storm system progresses. Heavy downpours and excessive rainfall possible with all of the storms, not just tonight. That's going to also be possible on Saturday and Sunday. You're going to have plans out on the water, the lake. If you're camping, just keep an eye to the sky. I don't think you need to cancel plans at this point, but what you do need is definitely a backup plan and a indoor shelter if you are planning to be around any of the stronger storms that develop later this evening. Highs remain in the mid 80s as we head through the weekend forecast. I think those high temperatures will mainly be limited on Saturday and Sunday because of the rain-cooled air. Now, not everybody gets the rain. So if you stay in a place that stays dry Saturday and Sunday, your high temperature will likely be much warmer with highs back into the lower 90s. Today, I think we all make it to the low 90s before storms arrive, likely after dark tonight. We then see that scattered chance for storms tomorrow, Sunday. I could see a continued chance into the early part of next work week too. And high temperatures look to remain either side of 90 degrees early next week too. So not a big break from this summertime weather pattern where we have these daily storm chances, but most of the day is just filled with hot and humid air. Around the country, what's making headlines this morning is strong storms and heavy rain for much of southern Wisconsin and portions of northern Illinois overnight into early Friday. We've also got flash flood watches for areas around Colorado, New Mexico, and the southern plains. That's for tomorrow, places that have already been hard hit with some flooding. And then we also have hazardous heat taking aim at the Pacific coast. A lot of folks out on the West Coast seeing some high temperatures with high and dangerous heat. So you might see some extreme heat warnings on the national weather map. That is definitely nothing to mess around with. They are talking extreme heat for much of the Pacific coast. All right, it's time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister Trivia question for the day. And the question that I left you with yesterday was this: which major music festival, often held in early July in New Orleans, celebrates jazz and heritage? And the options that I gave you were A, Coachella, B, Essence Festival, C, Bonnaroo, or D, Lollapalooza. And if you chose B, Essence Festival, you would be correct. In fact, this just wrapped up last weekend. From July 4th through 6th, the Essence Festival of Culture was held at Caesars Superdome. Now, congrats if B, Essence Festival, was your guess. Here's the trivia question that I'll leave you with for Monday morning. What is the warmest month on average in the Northern Hemisphere, often associated with peak summertime heat? Do you think it is A, June, B, July, C, August, or D, September? You can submit your guess. That's at aroundtheozarks.com. Want to thank our sponsors, Command Family Medicine, Heating and Air Paramedics, and Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet. Sure appreciate you listening this morning. I hope everybody stays safe this weekend. Be weather aware. We've got storms in the forecast overnight after a hot day in the Ozarks. Beat the heat this weekend. High temps today in the low 90s, humidity near 100. I'll be back to chat with you Monday morning.